So Ogun had an idea to call one day of a ceasefire back in 2015 when Baltimore hit over 300 murders that November.
So as far as the creation of the movement, it's an idea that I had for years. Actually, I was holding on it for years. I was running it by certain people, but it was inspired by some people might remember like the Middle East type of issues that used to happen. They used to call ceasefires, and I remember that as a child. So that was kind of inspired me like years and years before the ceasefire happened, and seeing that that's the only time that I would pay attention to Middle East conflicts, because they would call a ceasefire and then I would like follow up and say, what happened? Did anybody get shot? Did they bomb anybody? So that's kind of where it came from.
He came to me with this idea that he had, and I got really excited about it because I've had a lot of violence in my life. And it just made sense that we should have a day where everybody is just being peaceful on purpose. And so when we finally talked about it 2 years later, it was important to me that it not just be one day, but that there be 3 days, and that during that 3 days, that instead of violence, to replace it, we're celebrating life.
So the overall goal when it comes to ceasefire is just to raise the vibration of Baltimore City, right? So when people see the flyers, when they see the posters, when it is ceasefire weekend, you can just kind of see people who want to participate in that type of energy and then how that feels, right?
On ceasefire weekends, the air feels different in Baltimore. Like literally the atmosphere feels different for people. But also that it is giving people something to do. Like I was saying earlier, the way that violence and murder make us feel is like we're just helpless and hopeless. And so we've had parents, for example, come up to us and say, thank you for starting this, because my child got killed earlier this year, and this ceasefire march is the first time I've left my house in 6 months. So we need more people getting involved and just talking about it, just telling each other, it's the ceasefire weekend coming, you heard about that ceasefire thing? Because we want it to be like a holiday in Baltimore. Just like, Halloween is coming and the stores already have all of the Halloween stuff up. We want it to be like that in Baltimore, that everybody knows undeniably, oh, it's the ceasefire coming. I got my ceasefire posters up. I bought my t-shirt and my hoodie. Like I know what events I'm going to. I know what events I've planned. And I'm intending to be peaceful. Like, let me bring myself down, let me calm down. And so that's what we want. If it's a holiday in Baltimore, that's 4 times a year that intentionally thousands of people are just being joyful and trying their best to be peaceful. And so 4 times a year, the city would just get injected with this enormous dose of love.
So when it comes to the local government, we definitely have relationships when it comes to the local government. That's like a hands down thing. We're a real organization and we need anybody that wants to participate or contribute to the cause, right?
And so yes, everybody from every mayor who's been a mayor of Baltimore always participates in ceasefire weekends. The police department has been a huge partner, especially the media team, because ever since the movement started, during ceasefire weekends, they made a commitment to contact us directly to let us know if anybody got killed. And as time went on, they just added us to the media alert list so that we get the news, when somebody is killed.
But we're actually going through a rebranding stage, actually. So probably next year, 2023, we're probably going to actually change the name of Baltimore Ceasefire, and kind of stand more towards what we're working towards, right? So instead of being a quote-unquote anti-violence movement, we're going to stand more on what we stand for, which is peace work, which is resources for the city. So that's probably going to be the biggest change that people can expect. So even down to our clothing and our merchandise, whole new branding, website, whole new branding. So they can definitely expect that in 2023. Same philosophy. Ceasefire weekends are still going to happen. Nothing's really changing, but there's definitely going to be a major rebranding in 2023.